Hi everyone. Thank you for joining Parkinson Voice Project for today's online Speak Out Home practice session. My name is Samantha Ellenderry. I'm a speech language pathologist and the founder of Parkinson Voice Project. I'm here to help you establish and maintain a consistent Speak Out Home practice routine. Hopefully all of you are working with a Speak Out provider one-on-one. That is a speech language pathologist who has been trained in our Speak Out therapy program. And then you are doing your Speak Out exercises every day. Today is Friday, so we do things a little bit differently on Friday. Today I want to review what a Speak Out warm-up is. And when I say warm-up, I'm not just talking about Speak Out exercise number 1, which is also called a warm-up, but I'm talking about the warm-up that you will do before you go out to dinner, before important meetings, and things like that. So let's all take a sip of water, and then I'm going to take you through what a Speak Out warm-up would be, and then we're going to do a lot of categories today, a lot of categories with intent. Let's get a sip of water. All right, the first Speak Out exercise. I want you to project every sound forward across the room. Here we go. May, me, my, mo, moo. For our Speak Out warm-up, we do 3 of this exercise. Let's do it again. May, me, my, mo, moo. Lots of intent. One more time. May, me, my, mo, moo. So for your warm-up, when you're in the car, preferably not when you're driving, okay? But when you're with somebody going out to eat or something, you do this little warm-up. So you start with 3 of the may, me, my, mo, moos. Next, we're going to do 3 of the ahs. Okay, so imagine you're sitting in the car and you're projecting your voice over the hood to the car in front of you. Here we go. The sound should be clear. Let's do it again. Good. One more. Let's all take a sip of water. Grab that cup with intent. Really think about it. Every time you're eating and drinking throughout the day, really be mindful of what you're doing. Be deliberate. Remember, you're activating a different part of the brain that is not as dependent on dopamine when you use intent. You can tell how I'm being real careful when I take a sip of water. I don't want to spill it in front of all of you, so I am definitely using intent too. All right, we're warming up the voice before social gatherings and important meetings. The next part of the warm-up is to do 3 of the glides. Project a steady ah forward and then slowly glide up. Here we go. Good. These are not easy. Let's do it again. Make make sure the mouth stays open and the sound is ah. The ah does not turn into an eh or or something like that. You want it to be ah. And as I'm gliding down, I'm noticing I have to purposefully, intentionally sit up straighter and keep my mouth open. Let's start high and then glide down, okay? Here we go. Ah. Try it again. Start high. Ah. And one more. Start at the beginning. Here we go. Nice job. We've done 3 of the Mamie Mimo Moos, 3 of the ahs. We did a little bit extra glides. Let's take a sip of water and then we're going to count. The speak out warm-up that I'm referring today is so important because it will always be easier for you to speak with intent if you have warmed up your voice first. So for this warm-up that you're going to do before you go out to dinner, we're going to count to 10 forward and backward. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And backward. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're connecting them. We're not thinking about the breath, okay? We're just speaking out, and we take a breath whenever we need to. Let's do it one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oops, sorry, in the backward. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're being very deliberate, very purposeful. Now, if you're in the car warming up your voice, you still need to do the reading exercise, but maybe you don't have your workbook with you. The reading exercise builds strength and endurance. It gets you ready to start talking in conversation, tell a joke, describe something. So one thing that you can do, well, there's a few different things you can do in place of actually reading. You could recite something like the Pledge of Allegiance with intent. You could recite a prayer that you know very well, again, with intent. But something else that you could do that's real easy to do no matter where you are is to say the month and then the day. So it would be, we're going to do 3 at a time. Listen to me first. July 1, July 2, July 3, July 4, okay, just like that. That will do the same thing as similar to reading a book. So let's go all the way from July 1 to July 31, stopping every 3 numbers. Ready? With intent. July 1, July 2, July 3, July 4, July 5, July 6, July 7, July 8, July 9, July 10, July 11, July 12, July 13, July 14, July 15. This is hard. July 16, July 17, July 18, July 19, July 20, July 21, keep going, July 22, July 23, July 24, July 25, July 26, July 27. Let's do the last four. July 28, July 29, July 30, July 31. That is not an easy exercise to do. Isn't it surprising how challenging it is? But one thing you could do if you were in the car, you could just go up to 10. Just do that. The key with that exercise, the one thing you need to be careful about doing is that you don't try to say too many numbers on one breath and you start squeezing them out. So you can also go a little bit slower. Let's go from July 1 to July 10. I'm just trying to give you some different ways to practice. But let's do July 1 through July 12. And we're going to go a little bit slower. Make sure to speak out. Stop every 3. Ready? July 1, July 2, July 3. Wait. July 4, July 5, July 6. July 7, July 8, July 9, July 10, July 11, July 12. And that would be your warm-up. Let's all take a sip of water. When you do the warm-up, you're basically waking up the system. Maybe it's been a few hours since you've been talking to anybody. You need to warm up your voice. Think of it like an instrument. Someone who plays an instrument in the symphony will probably rehearse in the morning, and then before they have their performance, they warm up their voice. They warm up their instrument, and that's what you're doing. You're warming it up so it will be easier to use. And you may find that you warm it up, a couple times during the day besides doing your regular exercises. And usually a warm-up doesn't take more than 5, at the max 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and do Dr. Boone's words, and then we're going to do some categories for the remaining of the session, for the rest of the session. All right, ready? We'll say each nonsense word twice. Exaggerate the G's, the K's, and the NG's. Here we go. Gula ganga ga. Again. Gula ganga ga. Next one. Kuka mangu ka. Kuka mangu ka. Really exaggerate. I know it looks kind of funny, but we'll do it anyway. Ready? Gangla. Gangla. And the last one. Kukla. Kukla. Okay, if you need some water, go ahead and get some water. Now, what everybody is trying to do, the most challenging, is to try to transition what you're doing during these practice sessions into real life conversation. That's our goal, right? To speak with intent in conversation. And so that's why we have our cognitive exercises. A lot of the cognitive exercises cognitively are not that difficult, but what we're really trying to do is, can you come up with the answer and speak out and project your voice forward? That's really what we're trying to do. Well, categories is a great way to practice, and it's something fun that you could do with a friend or with your spouse, or how about your grandkids? How about getting on a Zoom call with your grandkids or your nieces, nephews, cousins, and doing some categories back and forth. And so a game that I like to play is that I would start, let's say, with a category. We go back and forth, and when one of us can't think of another item in the category, we switch the category. When you do this, it should be a little challenging but not frustrating. So don't spend too much time trying to think of the answer, okay? Just change it up when you can't think of one. I'm going to give you some categories, all right? I want you to name each one with intent, all right? The first category is fruits. Fruits. Go ahead, name some items, different types of fruits. If this is challenging for you, one thing you could do is try to think of your grocery store. Imagine walking into the grocery store, going into the produce aisle, and what are the fruits that you see there? Go ahead and name some more. Now let's try to make it a little bit more specific. I want you to name different kinds of berries. Different kinds of berries, and say each one with intent. All right, the next category, tools. I want you to think of tools and speak out when you name each one. Go ahead. If you're finding this challenging, one neat little trick you could do, you could think of the hardware store, okay, a certain hardware store you go to, and kind of think of what you see in the aisles, or think of your garage. Go ahead, try to name some more tools. Let's do a different one. I want you to name animals. Think of animals and say each one with intent. That's a very broad category. So how about this? I want you to name farm animals. Go ahead, each one with intent. Now we'll change it up a little bit. I want you to name some animals that would be appropriate for pets. For pets, what would be some animals that would make some good pets? And now we'll change it up again. How about wild animals? Name wild animals. Say each one with intent. Let's try one more, okay? I want you to think of furniture. Name different types of furniture. Go ahead with intent. Again, that's a very broad category. Sometimes it's harder when you come up with that very broad. So we can change it up. I want you to name furniture that would be in your bedroom. Go ahead, say each one with intent. How about furniture that you would see in your living room? Think of your living room or somebody else's living room. Go around the room, okay, and name the items. Naming items in a category is a great way to practice speaking with intent. You could also just look around your room and name the things that you see. Let's do that for our last one. Go ahead and look around where you are right now and just name what you see, but really be mindful of it. Be very deliberate about speaking out. Name things you see in the room where you are right now. And that's a really good exercise for you to do as you are naming them or you're speaking out. You can even later, when you're opening the fridge, name the items you have in the fridge, but practice speaking out. So that's another way where you can practice speaking out, learning how to speak with intent, because that's what it's all about, right? We're going to do the exercises to strengthen the muscles, but then get used to every time we speak, we're speaking out or we're speaking with intent. Thank you for joining me today for our practice session. Take what you learned during this session and practice, practice, practice. Do some categories this weekend, and I will be back on Monday. Thank you.